BMORE Lifestyle. Now, here are your hosts, Chardelle Moore and Christina Denny.
Hey guys, it's your girl Chardelle Moore. Give thanks for another day. How you doing, Christina?
I'm doing great. I'm giving thanks too.
Absolutely. That's all you can do.
That's right. I'm Christina Denny. Welcome to BMORE Lifestyle. So today we're going over the essentials with how to look and feel our best. Very important.
Absolutely. No, we're all about it. And we can't forget about summer water. That's right. We are talking all things rosé.
Yes, I can't wait for that. But first, before we relax, let's talk about burnout.
Yep.
It's a term that seems to be popping up more and more these days, but with limited advice on what it actually is, how to recognize it, or even how to avoid it.
Exactly. So here to provide us with some tips for better ways to manage our stress and prevention methods for burnout is Terrence Alspaugh. How you doing,
Welcome.
Terrence?
I'm doing great.
We need all your advice.
Exactly.
Thanks for having me on the show.
What exactly is a burnout?
A burnout is when you're not processing the way normal people would, ordinary people would. So for instance, if you start getting angry faster and more often than most people do, and people are looking at you and saying, you know, whoa, that was a little intense. What's wrong with you? But you can't lengthen the fuse and you blow up a lot, that would be a sign of it. Also, if you find yourself not able to think, that you're kind of like in this fog and almost frozen and you don't know what to do. Or if you're fantasizing a whole lot about, like, I'm just gonna quit this job and tell them to take it, and, you know, then, you know, and maybe you start making plans to do things like that, and people are saying, no, it's not a good idea to quit a job when you don't have another one to go to. What are you thinking about?
Sure.
So you're probably getting pretty burned out.
So a lot of things going on, basically.
A lot of things going on.
So what do we do about it? If we know we're starting to feel that way, what are our first steps to kind of get ourselves to feel better?
Well, there's some things you can do in terms of self-care, and then there are things that you need to do to reach out to other people for help. So in terms of self-care, there's some things you can do, like go outside. Now on a hot day like this, that might not make a lot of sense. But nature has amazing restorative properties. So maybe you go for a hike on the Gunpowder Trail, or you go on the Mom Pa Trail, you know, just for a long walk, to get outside, get some fresh air, garden, do something that can ground you with nature. That's one thing that you can do. Also, it's important to stay hydrated. You know, it's sort of like the old cartoons of people whose heads fill up with red steam and then it blows out of their ears. When you're really stressed, you need to drink water a lot, and some people get dehydrated and that adds to their stress. And actually, I know professional people that have kind of collapsed, you know, at work and rushed to the ER because they were dehydrated. They just weren't consumed. But, you know, think about stress as sort of like this energy that burns you up. So you need to cool yourself off with water regularly.
Interesting. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, those are some tips. I can give you more, but...
Well, how do we know when, you know, it's just kind of gotten to that point where we need to seek professional help? When is that point?
Well, one might be when friends recommend it and say, you know, I think you really need to talk to somebody. You seem to be over the edge. You're not managing it very well. Or if you also begin to wonder, maybe I should talk to somebody. I'm not getting feedback I need from my family and friends, because this is the thing that it's hard for people to accept. Family and friends do have your best interest at heart, but they wear blinders. So they might give you suggestions that are maybe well-intentioned, but professionally they might not be the wisest thing. So, you know, you ought to have it checked out by a third party who has no, you know, invested interest in you other than they're seeing you as a professional. And because sometimes I hear that a lot. Well, my friends told me this, but that just didn't ring right for me.
So what can we do? Because our culture, it's so easy to get burned out. You know, we're always on the go. We're always working. So how do we even prevent the burnout process?
Well, it's important to, if people will do it, to do some kind of meditation or mindfulness practices or prayer or something. But you know, there are some wonderful meditations you can do for free online. There's a woman named Tara Brach, and on tarabrock.com, she has meditations as brief as 1 minute, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, and they're all for free.
Yeah.
You know, and it's about breathing and relaxing and trying to change your mindset. So I think it's important to prep yourself for the day in the same way that an athlete would never go out and start competing without warming up first.
That's true.
Most of us just think we can jump out of bed and go into the world without warming our minds up.
So how do we
And
do
so-
that? How do we get ourselves ready for the day so that we, you know, are a little easier on ourselves?
Well, again, if you could take
Meditation.
schedule time to meditate,
Yep.
or to do something that restores your spirit. Like for some people, it might be reading scripture. For some people, it's reading some kind of daily affirmation guide. For some people, it's journaling. For some people, it's writing their thoughts down, trying to be aware of the day that lies ahead, and how do you stay calm, and how are you going to approach it with peace, and have this mindset. The mindset has a lot to do with it. You know, how you're entering into the world, rather than I'm late and I'm frustrated and I hate this job and I just got to
Exactly.
go.
Yeah.
You know, because we can slow ourselves down if we take time to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are almost out of time. Very briefly, if we just feel like our jobs are consuming our lives, how can we kind of, you know, let that go when we are at home, when we need, you know, that break?
Vacation helps. I mean, this is the vacation season, and people really do need to get away for 7 days without, you know, and not be wired into their jobs,
Yeah.
responding to emails and texts, but really take a break. You know, the Europeans do it for a month.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm
And,
envious.
yeah, I am too. I've never done a month off. You know,
Being able
like
to
that, but-
separate the two worlds
but
is so important
It
as
is
well.
very important. So, you know, one is in taking time off. Also, if a job is really impossible, it might be time to
time.
change the
Yeah.
job and
Real
to talk to
talk.
people about it. But again, not in frustration, not in anger, and I just quit today, you know,
Make
but
sure you
talk to
plan.
a
Yeah.
plan for it, talk to a career counselor, you know, network, talk to other people, find out if the job would be well suited to you, because you don't want to run, you know, from the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah, and then have no money lined up.
Yeah, right. That doesn't work so well.
Well, thank you so much.
We really appreciate you being
These
here.
are wonderful tips, and the mind is everything. Everything begins in the mind, so it's really important to really work on yourself as well. Thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you.